United Nations Peacekeepers, regarded as international keepers of peace and preserving civilian lives since its creation. Whether you love them or hate them based on the controversies, one must assume the hardness of life of being a soldier to a force tasked with saving innocent lives and minimizing unnecessary casualties. And what a better way to simulate it with making a Roblox game about it. And for a game that is barely out for 5 months, I'd say this game is already pretty decent, with a little bit of mess, but it's in beta so I can't blame them. So let's see what this game has to offer us with the experience of being a blue helmet. And let me see your opinions in the comment below after watching the video. Anyway, this is me, and if you don't know, I'm already level 5, gained from my first ever grind. But let's not talk about that. Anyway, the first map is called Tongo Village, because let's be honest, you can't talk about UN Peacekeepers without mentioning the troubles in Africa they are facing. But coincidentally enough, Tongo is actually a village in Mali that is full of beautiful rock formations and have no history of being raided by vicious African warlords. But whatever. Anyway, I joined the lobby and got teleported temporarily into this room I've never seen before until this video. Then after a while we got sent into the map and we're ready to roll, which means marching an entire kilometer just to reach our objective. As we approach near the objective, we're already getting fired at. After we reach the objective, this just made the jobs easier because it revealed how many enemies are left on the map. Well, not left, there's still many of them, which means I'm currently getting surrounded by them. And in CQB in this game, the only way to win is to make sure you fire first, because as you can see, I almost die in this part anyway after minutes of skedaddling looking for more enemies to fight. I almost once again died into this house. Finally, someone managed to kill him after I fall. Talking about fall, after spending my time looking for them, I finally got caught off guard and got killed. But my teammate seems to be holding just fine, going full-blown John Wick on the remaining insurgents, clearing houses until I finally got the last one near a market. And finally, the mission is successful. I then open my rewards, which are just crates of skins and cash, since basically that's the only rewards you can get by this time besides the money and XP. Then change my uniform to the usual UN Peacekeepers ones, since one of the cool features of the game is that the uniform you will spawn in is based on your country's military's uniform and it will be free. Then I'm ready on my second run, and this time I will be competent, just like Leonardo DiCaprio in Blood Diamond, except that in this game the enemies are actually trained. So after an immense loading time, we finally spawned inside the map, which is pretty near the objective from the last time we played, which means we're already getting fired at less than 5 meters from our position. There's even this guy that my crosshair is scared to hit. I don't know, maybe I'm having a bad day at the time for having steady aim. Then I got cornered by this guy at the market, but I managed to kill him, and the other guy from my left, which caught me off guard, but thankfully my teammate is behind me and saved me from my fate. A fate that was delayed by a few seconds after I left the building, but not as worse to what's happened next. My first defeat. On the bright side, I have a lot of money and decided to buy a new gun, the Russian AK-12. And just to fit the style, I decided to buy the Russian Federation UN Peacekeeper uniform, which is no different from the usual uniform of the armed forces. After a while, I decided to go on another one. And after crossing the African equivalent of the Saharan desert, we just started blasting. And it seemed like I haven't learned from my lessons from the last time. And especially not this one where I got killed while trying to heal myself with enemies shooting at my back. Now it's up for these two. Oh wait, never mind. Turns out my skills from BRM5 aren't really useful when the enemies have aimbots, when they go less than 20 studs from your position. Also, on another note, you're watching a video from a teenager who never played a single COD game in his life. COD Mobile is an exception. I continue grinding to the point where this recording is now equivalent to a gigabyte, which is not the best if you have a potato computer, especially when there's only less than 20 gigabytes left. I strike down enemies in front of my path until there is nothing left for me to shoot, because there is literally only one enemy left. I help the manhunt against the guy until someone finally put him out of his misery. Back at the lobby, I'm already at level 10, which means I unlocked the second map called Basilan, which funnily enough is a real place and have a lot of history with insurgencies. After the longest time of loading into the game, it seems like me and my partner got separated into different spawn points, but it's not that too far from each other. Finally, we entered the streets of Basilan and got bombarded by sniper fire. Then after taking care of them, we decided to go to the precinct and clear it first. And for a police department, this is pretty detailed. Then we went on to the public market to clear it too. After getting some more ammo, we pushed towards our objective, but not without clearing hiding a roof full of snipers. Then we finally reached the city hall, where the insurgents probably used it as the headquarters, which almost cost me my death after this guy tried to kill me with an anti-material rifle. We then entered the city hall and got into a death funnel, and of course, like an idiot, I died. And not a few seconds later, my partner died too. I wish they had flashbangs in the future, especially if the CQB is too tight like this. We then both decided to do it another try because giving up is for nothing. And you know, first time isn't always the charm. And after going through the same process as before, except this time we go to the city hall first. We cleared the percent out of enemies, then it's a success. It's not as tough as the last map because of how large it is, but damn, it is still a challenge. And now I will say my honest conclusions about the game as I explore the kill house. Even if it's just for a while, I actually pretty like the game, and I know it still has a lot of future and potentials to unlock. I hope for the best for the developers and for their potential to unlock its true purpose to the future, because other than that, in my experience, they actually have a nice community and a welcoming one for sure. And by the way, by the time of this recording, they finally released the vehicle update, but since I'm still a starter, I'm broke and I don't know how the vehicles work, but hopefully it is decent enough to hype a player. So in my opinion, this is a pretty decent shooter game, although it doesn't really cover much of the things that the UN Peacekeepers actually do. At the end of the day, it is just a game which overall promotes cooperation and strategy, which is why I suggest to play it with friends, which makes playing a little bit less difficult and also entertaining. But of course, that depends if your friends actually know what they are doing and that they wouldn't die just 30 seconds after starting the game. So anyway, I do apologize for saying the same word for almost 10 times in this video alone, but if you're a veteran player of this game or at least just played this game recently, I wanna know your opinions about it by the comment section below. That's basically anything I want to say about this game or experiences. If you saw this video to your liking, then don't forget to click that thumbs up button, or if you want to see others of my content creation, then don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Anyway, stay cool, stay fresh, and have a good day everyone.